thank you very much. Very glad that we have a very crunch schedule and we're going to finish fast. Some of us will also catch flights thanks to that. We're going to talk about something extremely important, and we have very senior leadership from a very diverse set of organizations come together for this. So we're going to talk about something that's very close to a lot of employees' hearts, which is around compensation and benefits and wellness programs. We call this as total rewards. It's very different from payroll and operations and administration. This is more related to the strategic elements of how much you pay your employees, what are your strategies around how you pay your employees, what are the kind of new benefits that employees want, and pieces around that. So without wasting more of time, I think we have 3 sharp questions that we want to ask this esteemed panel. And I will start with the first one. So coming to the element of compensation, there has been a lot of innovation happening and a lot of trends that have picked up in the industry. So can I ask all of you to share with us and the audience, what are some of the key trends that you see in terms of how employees are being paid, what they're being paid, both in cash, incentives, as well as elements like stock? Would you like to start?
And your question was specific to Gen Z, right?
Yes.
Right. So, well, when I think of the new generation, I think of attributes like purpose, a growth mindset, right? And I think these folks are attracted to workplaces that foster belongingness. I think somebody before the discussion alluded to that as well. And I think transparency is quite pivotal as well, right? So if you want to go out and attract this talent, I think these are some of the key components that you got to think about. Competitive comp may barely cut it, of course, right? There's an inkling to instant gratification. Cash compensation is sweeter than equity, instant recognition for the job well done. And at the same time, I think there is increased objectivity to take developmental feedback and invest in the self-growth. But if you honestly ask me, all of this is brass tacks. What really seals the deal for the best Gen Z talent is a fulfillment of purpose that they can glean on at the workplace, finding the right amount of belongingness, right? Additionally, I would say a culture of trust is extremely crucial. Employers must start thinking about increasing transparency in aspects such as performance, growth, as well as pay. And as all of you know, salary transparency has been becoming an area of interest in the boardrooms. And I think it's high time that there is adoption for pay transparency and similar concepts.
Awesome.
Yeah?
Any other key trends that the other panelists would like to add?
I can go next. So in my view, Gen Zs, if you talk about, they would be approx 25 to 30% in next 1 or 2 years, right? Everything they see is very ambitious, be it work, be it their financial wellness, everything is very ambitious in their mind. Not we, but all the companies need to focus on things which are supporting their ambition or dreams, be it flexible work arrangements, flexible pay, not only the pay and bonus or commission part, but there are more to do, like the overall org design has to change to fulfill their needs. Benefits especially, we made some tailor-made benefit programs to support these generations. And it's not a simple vanilla structure now. We need to provide them flexibility. We need to provide them a leap of faith, what we discussed, right? So I think the era is changing. In last 4 years, we have seen reward innovations has drastically changed how we were thinking about rewards pre-COVID, post-COVID, in terms of financial pressure, growth, that to profitable growth, everything is changing around rewards. And we are the sort of epicenter of rewards. We need to ensure that our strategies or decisions making or supporting management to take the right remuneration approach, right philosophy, and the right reward. Thank you.
Okay, to add to this, innovation currently is moving in compensation is in big way. companies are adopting to agile comp structure, comp philosophy currently. Skill-based, gone are the days where role-based pay was predominant. Now it is moving into skill-based pay. So skill-based, mainly the companies are categorically specifying on niche skill. Niche skill is almost like where currently young Gen Z and millennials are looking for niche skill payout, which is higher than the industry. And each industry is for one company niche skill for 10 skill maybe for this year is maybe niche skill, may not be for next year. So each companies are evaluating year on year, once in 6 months evaluating which skill is niche for us, which is not. May not be the same for next year. And also they are also looking for proficiency in each skill based on the proficiency, and if they are using in that particular projects, they're going to get that pay. It's a more of pay for performance, and also this skill is going in a big way. So that's one of the key innovation is happening in the industry. And also in the rewards and recognition. So our companies are moving into cash pay to rewards in terms of point-based listing, where instant gratification for their performance. So, and because of this, moving away from cash component to instant recognition, so a lot of companies, the score, employee engagement score has gone up, and also retention also has gone up to the quite extent. So that is the two takeaway I can say.
So, alluding to what Vaibhav also said, one of the key factor is pay transparency these days. That's the most innovative thing that's happening in the industry. Lot of companies are introducing this pay transparency, wherein employees get to understand their potential earning in the role that they are playing. The key thing is a lot of companies share the ranges or publicly, and some of the company do it little differently, where they just share the ranges within the organization. And some matured organizations are sharing the ranges outside as well, just before they hire. So that helps the employee to understand the potential earning that they can do it in the days to come, and where do they lie. That helps the recruiters as well to understand whether we'll be able to tap the right talent from the industry.
Akriti, you come from a very different industry, so would you want to add your perspective to this?
I think for me, it's technology in the space of rewards. AI is coming up. We have HR analytics that has picked up massively. Gone are the days where organizations are making decisions at the whims and fancies of the senior leadership. There is a data-backed decision-making that has now come in place, and that's impacting compensation strategies, compensation management as well. Even administrative aspects of rewards are now getting automated. Certain elements like how organizations define their salary ranges, for example, or how they do performance management, incentive calculations. All of these processes were very, very archaic and very manual or administrative for organizations, which would take a lot of time of the team and would cause a lot of drudgery, I feel, which have now come to a stage where organizations are thinking about introducing softwares. There's machine learning algorithms coming up, and they're moving from that to a little more of automation. And I think that's enabling a lot of strategic aspect also coming into rewards. And yeah, I think data analytics is going to be the next big thing for us.
I can't agree more on that. I think our roles have changed and are changing very significantly with time. And now I would want to bring this panel to the next very important element, which is employee wellness. We've been, employee wellness erstwhile has been something which was a good to do, on the CEO's task list. It was more treated like, okay, you can do employee wellness, but now it has become almost the central pillar of employee value proposition. So what is it that your organization is offering to the employee? One of the central pillars for that has become, employee well-being programs. And this coming from some really differentiated and innovative benefits programs that organizations have achieved, and also some of these, one-time kind of programs that they run around certain elements of physical, mental, and financial wellness. So I would request this panel to share with us, over the next 3 to 5 years and beyond, what are some of those innovations in the benefits and wellness space that you are foreseeing, and what do you think will transform the way today employees and businesses are working? How will we do that through innovative benefits and wellness programs?
I think I can just go first because I just spoke about technology. So just stemming in from that, I think in this group right now, there must be quite a lot of people who would be wearing smart watches. Can I get a show of hands? How many of you are wearing smart watches? How many of you actually own one but are possibly not wearing today? Lots of us. So wearable technology, I feel, is also one piece which is going to change how we look at benefits, make it more personalized, give input to our employees in terms of their individual health, their preferences. And the second piece is also, we have a massive workforce which is hybrid, which is all working remotely. How do we ensure that wellness reaches them as well, which is an area where technology will come in again? Something like virtual reality or augmented reality. All of those things, I feel, are going to change the space of wellness quite a lot for organizations. So yeah, I think technology for me here as well is going to change things.
All right, so in the past, before COVID, I think we haven't seen anyone focusing majorly on the wellness. But post-COVID, we have seen there is a drastic change in terms of the way wellness is seen by the organizations. So talking about my own organizations, we have an in-house wellness coach, wherein we just don't focus on the people who are physically present, but also we do some sessions for the employees who are virtually working out from home. And not just that, we also do a lot of wellness programs, be it their financial wellness, or physical wellness and social wellness. A lot of such programs have been taken very seriously these days, and there are a lot of audits as well happening, which is a drastic change that's happening in the industry.
Just to add, I want to add upon. Post-COVID, companies are very much liberalized in enhancing the benefits and wellness, because both the employer-employee community has seen what is the toughest season they have undergone the changes. So people have lost their employees, their family. So a lot of companies have revisiting the policies of health, where all the restrictions where earlier we used to follow that in order to reduce the claim ratio, we used to have a lot of restrictions. Now all those things has been moved away, and companies are increasing the benefits coverage and also giving the lot of option for employees to increase the coverage. And also companies are looking for, even finance is the person who always used to have a restriction on the budget. Now there is no restriction as long as health and wellness of employees concerned. Very much entire world is understood that we cannot compromise health and wellness. So that is a key factor to drive employees' morale and driving the employees. In addition to that, we also have created, companies have created to cater multi-generation force. So benefits kitty, where employee can choose anything which is related to health and wellness. So that where people can choose which is closely related to health and benefits for them. So utilization is going up and people are using it for the right purpose. So that is very much helpful and engaging their engagement score. Also companies are seeing that it is going up after we introduce this kind of enhanced offerings to the people.
So see, I feel wellness has like in its own, it's completely changed in last 1 or 2 years, right? Now companies are not focusing on just a typical, wellness programs like insurance. Through some app, there is a doctor on call. the overall philosophy has changed to a more holistic wellness programs. And when we talk about holistic programs, and that's going to be the future. Every company is struggling to meet their profitable growth target, right? Where we have a lot of cost pressure. We as a reward professional are supposed to guide them in the right direction, maximizing the benefit out of the budget we have. And holistic benefit is not something a very cost sensitive matter, but like thinking about employees' sleep, families' financial conditions, anything which is where employee is getting impacted more from a safety point of view. Like a lot of organizations are now focusing on adaptive workplace. Like they want to make sure employee feels safe, especially post-COVID. Employees are very sensitive, especially these Gen Zs, that hey, if I pick up a virus, it will go to my family. So there are preventive measures which organizations are also taking to control this, and I think that's the future. Flexibility, I think, is what we already covered, that one size does not fit for all, and we need to have those flexibilities in our wellness programs that employees can pick and choose what they want as per their need, because every generation, we cannot have multiple programs running in the org, but we can provide flexibility for employees to choose one of those based on budgets we have, right? We can't open it for all. So I think that's the future, more customization, more personalization. Technology, what she touched is a key, because we won't be able to manage this complexity without without having a proper technology in place. So I think most of the colleagues here would also request them to think about this from a technology perspective, how we can support organizations achieving that target down the line 2 year, 3 year, or 5 years. That's the journey and future, I think. So.
And I have a time check coming in. Vaibhav and Deepak, if you have any comments, and please feel free to close the session as
Sure,
well.
probably 60 seconds. I think your question's predominantly been answered already. So just to put this into the perspective for Gen Z, because that was the other part of your question. When I think of Gen Z again, I think, I'm sure you would agree that these guys are smart, right? Can we have a show of hands? Do you think these guys are smart, the Gen Z? Okay, not many. A little more controversial question. Do you think these guys are smarter than the previous generation? Okay, I was expecting a different show of hands, very controversial, and maybe a debate for another day. Whether smarter or not, but I think you would certainly agree to the fact that Gen Z is early to realize that work is only a part of life and not life. Having said so, if you want to attract Gen Z or the younger workforce, I think you've got to think about well-being. Everybody's mentioned that. You've got to think about flexibility in ways that it has not been imagined before. And I'm going back to the same point, a culture that manifests belongingness. Just to draw a couple of examples from PayPal, where I work. We give our employees and their families, holistic support system to take care of their physical, emotional, financial, social well-being. For an instance, we give our employees 1 month of paid sabbatical on every 5 years of completion of service, and people just love that because it allows them some time with family, friends, just to pursue a hobby which has been long waiting, and relax and recharge, right? Another example is digital being everywhere. So on top of my mind is a mindfulness program that we deliver, which helps them sleep better, meditate better, through a slick tech experience app, right? Another one is probably unlimited one-on-one financial counseling, which helps them plan for their future, right? Now, each of these can be some of those experiences that we can deliver, right? If you want to think about something around belongingness, for example, we give them opportunities to participate in several ERGs, right? They can drive certain community work, if that appeals to them, some charities. From business perspective, skill perspective, there are options to do some deep tech innovation, research, patents. And these are, again, just some examples, right? From flexibility perspective, which was the third dimension, we enable employees to work from any location, so that's a big flexibility. Then there's something very interesting around flexibility of schedule. Now, there are certain pockets in our organization where we allow employees to do a 4-day work week, and people just absolutely love it, right? And to our surprise, when we piloted this in a small segment, we were apprehensive of how business would pan out, but productivity went up, engagement results went up, and it's a win-win for employer as well as employees, right? To sum it up, I think these are all just examples that some of our panel members have shared. But when all of this comes together in a sense that it makes sense, in a way that it makes sense to your company, to your culture, I think it makes for a significantly compelling value prop for your employees.
I can't agree more with the panel. I think amazingly said and summarized. I would also just add to it saying that, accountability of employee well-being has now become a partnership between the employee and the employer. It is not just the responsibility of the employer to entitle employee with all kinds of benefits, but we are educating, we are partnering with them. Thank you so much for this time, and really a pleasure interacting with all of you. There's just so many takeaways for me as well as a person. Thank you so much.